Hey guys, I'm Tim. Welcome to today's 10 at 10. We greatly appreciate you watching today.
Guys, I'm Matt, and today we have the 10 at 10 for Tuesday, March 14th of 2023. So these sizes are indicative of right now in March of 2023. If you're watching this video a year later, sizes may be slightly larger or slightly smaller here at MrMaple. Now at MrMaple, we put out a 10 at 10 every single week. That means we bring 10 new trees to the table every single week. We actually list 20. Sign up for our weekly emails to get notified the full list ahead of time.
Yeah guys, so smash that like button, give us some comments, and share this video with your gardening friends. We've got an awesome 10 at 10 lineup for you today. Get excited, guys.
Guys, we can't ship to our international community, but we love knowing you guys are out there, and we appreciate your support. So let us know in the comment section where you're watching from today. That comment section's awesome during the premieres. We premiere these videos every single day at 9 a.m. So yes, we know these items aren't on MrMaple right now. They'll be coming to you today at 10 a.m. Eastern.
So first up today, we've got some really large Ulmus hollandaceae widrii. I probably butchered that name completely, but this is a golden elm that just gives some bright golden yellow color.
I would call it weirdy eye. Redly eye? I don't know. You tell us how to say this one. I'm no Latin expert. Really cool plant though. Intense yellow coloration. Almost really are interesting for bonsai or in the landscape. They make a fun tree to be growing.
Yeah, this is a plant that gets about 12 feet in height in 10 years. So it's a moderate to slow growing elm, but this is such a cool plant. I mean, this was found as a golden sport at an arboretum in Germany. And this thing just gives that bright golden yellow color in the spring and in the summer.
Maybe a German-Latin combination there. Maybe that's why I don't know how to say that. But really cool plant either way. One we're happy to be bringing back here on MrMaple. Guys, you probably know this one. You can probably guess this one in my hand without even looking. This is Acer palmatum bihu.
Yeah, bihu, green leaves in the spring and the summer, yellow in the fall, drops those leaves to expose this bright yellow bark. I mean, really just puts on a great, excellent winter interest.
Guys, this one is high intensity for those winter months. It's really a spark of that winter color when everything else is drab in the garden. Pairs nicely with any of the coral barks because bihu is one of the most yellow selections for bark interest. You've heard me say this before, but one of my favorite times to view this tree is when it's in its peak yellow fall color. You have the yellow bark and the yellow foliage, and the intensity is just unmatched. Lovely tree. This one's going to work zone 6 through 9, so not in the zone 5 rating here, but an awesome plant to be growing.
So is it bihu or bihow?
I've heard both. Now, bijou, I think actually has something to do with jewelry.
Yeah.
So who knows, maybe that's how it should be said correctly. I've always heard it originally said as bihu. I believe Barry Yinger told me it should be more like bijou one time.
And bihow's the way Brian Upchurch pronounced it.
And he brought it back, so
now,
I don't know.
Now the truth is, in Japan, there are different dialects as well. So someone in one part of the country may be pronouncing it one way, and someone in another part of the country may be pronouncing it a different way.
It's like saying like, oh, that guy's America. Then you hear like, you know, Milwaukee accent and then my Southern accent. So there's a lot going on there too. Recently did a cultivar highlight on this one.
Yeah, Acer palmatum pink filigree.
Guys, this makes a perfect pairing with that green filigree we had on last week's. Pink filigree isn't reticulated, but brings some high intensity pinks with a very thinly dissected leaf.
Yeah, this is another one of those selections by Ghirardelli Nursery in Italy. I mean, this plant just puts on some of that pink new growth that just keeps putting on growth. They compared it as a mix between Stella Rosa and Ornatum, is what they thought it might have been. And who knows, because they did come up with Summer Gold and Jordan.
Right, it is a fine pairing. I could see that being the combination that created this, because it certainly has some of my favorite qualities of both those, and a high intensity pink. If you're looking for a pink lace leaf that stays small, great selection. This one's gonna work well in the container garden or in the landscape, and it's really gonna give you a diverse color mixture to add to your green and red and other color lace leaves.
That's for sure. Really awesome lace leaf, really unusual, and very different. Definitely stands out from many of the other selections. So next up, we've got a plant that's extremely heat tolerant. I know some of the people down in Alabama love this plant. I know our good friend Pat Dye, this was a favorite of his.
Yeah.
Acer palmatum Oshiobeni.
I miss Pat Dye. We recently went to Auburn and we're visiting people, and Pat passed slightly after having COVID. Really nice guy. Was such a fun guy to talk Japanese maples with. A lot of people know Coach Dye from, you know, coaching at Auburn. It's Pat Dye Field at Auburn, Alabama. And I just think of him as a maple guy. It was fun to go to restaurants with him, and people stood up like the president walked in when you're in Alabama. I didn't know him for a sports career. I knew him through talking trees. So we'd go down Guy made a heck of a steak, and we'd sit around his hunting lodge and talk about Japanese maples. One of his all-time favorites. Now that means it's a good tree for Alabama because it was handling the heat, it was bringing the color, and it was hitting those fall interests.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those bright reds in the spring that just puts out such amazing bright fall color. It lasts for a really long time from down there. Performs really well in the heat, and it's a good plant all the way around. It's a good mid-size upright red Japanese maple that stands out from the crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
So next up, we have Acer palmatum Midori no Tiboku.
It's been a minute since we've had this one as well. Always a popular dwarf, noted for being wider than it is tall. I think we talked about this one in our top 50 by Talon Buchholz. It certainly should have made the list. This is one by Talon and his good friend Dr. Corbin. They kind of found through a lot of different sealants. Not Corbin that works for us filming right now, but another Dr. Corbin. And a really fun plant, makes that low spreading habit, and really a nice one if you're looking for more width and height on a lace leaf.
Yeah, it's one that has really unique. It's got a unique leaf shape, and it really goes to a really nice yellow in the fall. I mean, for a green weeping lace leaf, this one is very unique, really because of that shape. I mean, that shape of being short and wide. We're talking 3 feet in height, 6 foot in width in 10 years.
Very low arching.
It is. And the name Midori no Tiboku is said to translate as green and weeping. And that makes perfect sense because that's exactly what this plant does. If you're wanting a plant that's going to stay very low, again, this is another one of those plants that can do great underneath a window because it's not going to get too tall.
Right.
But this one has more of that very arching, that very horizontal weeping habit.
Excellent candidate for container gardening, a very wide shape to this one. Again, that fall color is very intense. Like, it is a really crisp yellow. I've had it get some oranges in it, but typically it starts out very, very bright, very, very crisp, and intensely yellow. Next up, we've got Acer palmatum, Angel the Prince.
Okay, guys, so this one's going to sell out fast, check out quickly. Our system doesn't hold it for you until you finish the checkout process. So once you have an order number, you know, you've got this tree saved with your name on it. So make sure you not just add it to cart, but that you finish the checkout process.
Yeah, we put this one in that Makawa family. It's got a little bit of a purple border as it leaves out. You know, Brian really helped popularize this one. I think he dropped some photos early in our Facebook group, so there's a little bit of a buzz going on for Angel the Prince. You know, think of this one as almost a Teroyama with a purple border in the early spring.
Yes.
Maybe a little different leaf there going on too. Dense, compact dwarf though, high intensity colors.
The reds, the purples this thing puts out on that Teroyama type looking plant. I mean, of the Makawa family types, this one is really unique, really special, and really different with a nice twisting leaf.
Now guys, we're putting out over 15 of these today. That might not mean much to some of y'all, but they will sell out quickly. We are always working to get more Makawa types on our website. Bear with us, they take 2 years to get to this size, so it takes a lot of work to get one to this size. Then they sell out really quickly. So we will be offering more sets this year of Angel the Prince, but don't miss out on this one. It's going to go quickly. Really cool plant. I wouldn't expect these to be around at 10:05.
Nope, I really don't. So next, we've got a really cool one too.
Yeah, Alpine Silver Thread. Now, this is a really fun reticulated one. I like it for its clarity. It's almost like a white with high intensity, like dark green veining to it. And that's where it gets that Alpine Silver Thread. Almost looks like an alpine, you know, plant there. It's got almost a white quality to it, especially if you get some more shade. It can get very, very white with dark reticulated green veining.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very unique ghost type that is very unusual, really different. You don't see it that often in the nursery trade.
Yeah.
But it definitely stands out and really gives almost a glossy, shiny look to that reticulated style.
If you've got a shade reticulated garden, this is a must-have. Giving it more shade will get it more white. Giving it a little bit more morning sun, you can get kind of some yellowish hues going on in there early spring. Either way, it's a gorgeous plant to be growing. Makes stark contrast with Amagi Shiguri or Purple Ghost or Wave Leaf. You know, putting some of those high intensity white reticulated forms near those are going to brighten those colors up. It's a showstopper though in the early spring. Alpine Silver Thread.
Yeah, really awesome plant. Next up, we've got a really cool blue conifer, Picea pungens, Donna's Rainbow.
Guys, I love this one for some of the bluer hues it gets. This can almost get like a foamy blue, bright blue sheen over top of it. Gives it a really interesting, almost like ethereal-like quality to it. It's a Picea pungens that you got to have in your landscape for a smaller overall habit.
Now, this plant, you want to give it some protection from the hot afternoon sun, some of those hotter climates. Morning sun is critical to really pick up those blues. The full sun, if you're in some of those climates that can handle Picea pungens out in full sun. But this has that conical, rounded shape to it that really gives this tree a really unique texture, but that blue color adds so much out there in the landscape.
Really fun plant, guys. This one's going to work zones 3 through 7, really bring a lot of high intensity. And again, those blues really bring out some of the other colors. You know, put this one behind your bihu, put it around your pink filigree or your scarlet princess from last week. It's really going to bring out some of those high intensity colors. You're going to get some shades of blue here you can't get in many other plants.
You know what I like to pair that with?
Yellow.
What do I like to pair this with?
Acer palmatum summer gold.
So summer gold, backed by popular demand. We've got another set of these becoming available. It sells out so quickly here on Mr. Maple, it's hard to keep it in stock. I don't know if it sells out because I like it so much or because y'all like it too. Probably the latter, but this is such an amazing plant. 6 to 8 foot in 10 years with some bright yellow color.
Now, generally, the more yellow you have in a plant, the more pink or the more white, the more late day shade it's going to need. Summer gold can handle full sun up to zone 8. I've seen this one performing awesomely in full sun in Atlanta. So it's a high intensity yellow that is mid-sized in its habit. Great, nice, large, round leaf to it. Beautiful tree overall. This is a great tree. It's going to hold that summer yellow, as the name implies, into the summer. Late summer, you get a little bit of a chartreuse color, and then the falls can range from bright, picked up pink red to bold red.
Yeah, this is a plant that just does so much out in the landscape. That yellow color contrasts so well against your blues, your reds. It brings out your colors on your greens and helps you see every single color of green out there in the landscape. Check out our video I did on how to use yellow Japanese maples in the landscape. And I show summer gold in our garden, how you can brighten up the dark spaces, but also add color contrast in the sun. Like Matt talked about, summer gold can handle full sun. It may burn a little bit when it's first getting established, but once it's established, it's a rock star. And it's one of my favorite Japanese maples, and there's good reason. This plant just keeps putting on a show throughout the season.
It's a great candidate too for container gardening. If you're looking for a yellow to brighten up an area, don't be afraid to use this one in shade. It can handle the shade. It's still going to be an intense yellow in the shade, but it definitely can handle the sun. And it's an awesome candidate for the small area garden, planter, or container garden. It's one you can play around with it, put it in a container, take it around different spots in your yard, see how it looks. But super durable, super colorful, and always a popular one here on Mr. Maple, Acer palmatum summer gold. Guys, we're bringing back Acer sieboldianum kumoi nishiki.
Guys, we recently did a showcase on the Acer sieboldianums. They're some of our favorite plants, and this is that variegated style. It's that variegated full moon leaf-like Japanese maple that is very stable and really just puts on great colors.
Now, if you count sieboldianums as full moons, which I think Tim always throws it in there, it certainly is the most stable variegated form with this large round leaf. There's not another tree that has a large round Shirasawanum, Japonicum, sieboldianum style foliage that has stable variegation like this. It is uniquely variegated, swirling, intense variegation, and again, very cold tolerant. One of the reasons people love the Acer sieboldianum is they're a little bit more cold tolerant.
Yeah, and this is just such a cool plant. I mean, the swirling variegation is very unique to this leaf and this tree. There's not a lot that has that unique swirling variegation, especially with the larger leaf like Matt was talking about. But this plant really puts on just some really good fall colors as well. I mean, sieboldianums are some of my favorite plants, and to get that and get a variegated form of that, it's just going to be a rock star. It's really unique and really special.
Guys, that large leaf with that green on white variegation is going to fade to a light pink and dark red in the fall. So high intensity, no matter what season, highly sought after, really cool tree. You don't want to miss out on kumoi nishiki. It's one that we try to keep bringing back in stock for good reason. It's always very popular. So as spring's getting here, guys, we're getting closer and closer to our earliest open house of the year. We're going to be doing a spring open house at March 24th. That's Friday, March 24th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we're actually going to have a makeup day for you guys that can't make it on Friday. That's going to be Saturday the 25th. Now, we're only going to go Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12.
And that's 8 a.m. to noon. Both those days are hard cutoffs, so don't show up at 4 on Friday or 5 o'clock on Friday, or don't show up on Saturday at noon, because we've got our employees, they got to get home. And they've come in and really tried to work hard to make this open house happen. So make sure you come in early. It's going to take a while to shop through the greenhouses.
There's a lot to see here, guys. We're going to have at least 5 more greenhouses open than during our fall open house. So there's going to be a lot of new product to see. We're actually moving out of the greenhouse we're shooting in right now and packing new product from down low in. So there's stuff changing here constantly. We've put up 4 new houses. And to give you an idea, a lot of our houses are 96 footers. These are all 116 and 112, so even bigger houses. There's going to be a lot of new things open. So I hope you guys are going to be part of that and enjoy it. Again, that's going to be Friday, the 24th from 8 to 5. And that's going to be the main day. There's going to be a lot of people here that day. Then a little bit of a makeup. So if you can't make it that day, that's Saturday, the 25th from 8 to 12.
Now we're shooting this video a little bit early. Trees aren't quite in leaf quite yet, but when we get to there, trees really should be busting out with spring color.
It's gonna be, yeah, that's one of the reasons we're putting it that late.
And I think you're going to really enjoy seeing all the differences of all these different cultivars in that early springtime.
Everybody keeps asking Jody, when can I come? I want to be there in person. Guys, we're working to make it, easier. It takes a lot of work to open up here just because we're shipping so many trees a week during the season. So we have to pull all the orders, get everything set aside for the week, then open up. But we want to be here. We want to see you guys in person. And more importantly, we want to share some spring foliage. I don't think we've ever been open this early. So it's going to be a really fun time to be here. And hey, thanks to everybody that's making that happen. We got a great staff here that's getting us caught up and really far ahead. By the time you watch this video, I bet there are trees where we're standing right now. So be excited for that one, guys. If you haven't already, sign up for our weekly emails. We add 10 new trees every single Tuesday at 10. There's some really coveted high interest trees dropping this spring you guys don't want to miss out on.
Yeah, for sure. And as always, remember to check out quickly. Some of these items will sell out really quickly today. So make sure you check out really quickly.
Take care.
God bless.
Have a great day.